Tactical selling. The interaction with the customer is where sales are won or lost. That's where it happens. On the phone, hanging off the side of a machine, out on a job site, sitting across the table in a municipality, doesn't matter where, but when you're interacting with the customer, that's where sales are won or lost. And how you respond, how you prepare your offense for that, how you are ready and skilled and prepared for your defense when they throw nasty stuff at you and objections and complaints, how prepared you are is going to be the difference with whether you get that deal or not. And by the way, if you start going after accounts that you haven't been doing business with, there's probably a reason. Because they're going to throw some objections at you. They don't know you. They might not even like you. They may be buddy and golfing or hunting with your competitor, and it's going to be, and every time you call them, it's going to be a stinking interruption. So you've got to get good at tactical selling. If you want to just call on your buddies. Hey, how you doing, man? Say, need anything? Everything going good? I mean, we got to think of some new stuff, right? And so we've got to really sharpen what happens in that dynamic interaction. Okay? Every call counts. Brilliant execution of tactical selling. And that's what we're talking about here. Brilliant execution of tactical selling. It requires two things. Pre-call planning and ongoing practice. Now let me talk about the pre-call planning piece. Everybody will come with a selected target account. In other words, you're going to pick a deal that you're working on right then. Maybe the day before the training you go, you know what, I'm going to be calling on John Smith in a couple days. This is a big call, man. There's a lot on the line with it. That's the account that I'm going to work on in that day of training. So everybody, we're going to have millions of dollars laying on the table during that training. So everybody's going to come with a selected deal that they're working on. And throughout that, first I'm going to start out in the locker room, and we're going to walk through our offense, and I'm going to give you a nice overview of what happens in that dynamic interaction. I'm going to show you the sell process, and then real slowly, step by step, we're going to walk through each step of the process, and we're going to pre-call plan together. It's going to be like a clinic on that day. It won't be me lecturing or just regular training. It's going to be an intensive clinic. Go through each step of the process. Like we'll talk about, what are you going to say when you start? After you get past the small talk, what's the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth? That's a huge play, because that's going to set the tone for the rest of the call. What are you going to say? And so I'm going to say, okay, I'll give you a pre-call planning form, and you're going to write that out. You're going to start preparing before you, instead of just showing up and throwing up, you're going to figure out, what am I going to say? And you're going to write it out. And I'm going to give you plenty of time, 10, 15 minutes to do that on that. And then after we're done, and by the way, your manager's going to be working with you, and you're going to be bouncing off and go, you know this guy. Here's the guy I'm calling on. Here's how I'm going to start this. And I am going to show them this truck, but when we start, here's what I'm going to say, because I really want to set the tone and get the focus on this. Okay? And bounce off your manager. And your manager might go, man, I like that last part, kind of negative. Maybe you don't even need that. And they're going to coach you and help you, and we're going to spend some really good quality time working on real deals in the training. I love doing it, man. That's why I love what I do. You're going to love it too, because it's going to help you pay the bills. It's not going to just be training. It's going to be working on real deals. Then we'll go to the next step. And what are some questions you need to ask? How can you word those? We're going to help each other. And actually, at each juncture, not only is your manager going to help you, but I'm going to help you. We're going to help each other. Because what I'll do, and even though it's going to be a pretty big group, I'll say, okay, talk to me. Let's take some examples. Anybody want to kind of share what your target account is and then tell us what your starter is? And then somebody will say, okay, here's my target account. This guy, you guys know this guy. He's a crazy man. Well, here's what I'm going to say to get us started. And you'll read it. And I'll say, what do you think, group? Did you nail it? And somebody might say, it was a little long for me. And then a couple other guys might say, yeah, I say, okay, man, go back to the drawing board. Maybe you need to trim that down a little bit. It's a little wordy. It kind of almost sounded a little fake. It's got to be from you. It's got to be real. So work on it. Okay, perfect it. Tool it out. And then maybe you come up to me at a break and share with me, and I'll go, tell me the situation again. And you'll tell me the situation. I go, And how many remember doing this? Did anybody go through training with me where we did that? It was unbelievable, wasn't it? I mean, it's powerful because we're going to help you. At the end of that day, you will have a well-designed, well laid out, perfected wording, pre-call plan for your tactical execution of that next call with that customer. A real situation. And here's the beautiful thing. Your first role play on the following day is going to be a dry run. It's going to be a scrimmage of that call. And actually, it's like going out in the backyard and picking up a game just to work on some of your fundamentals and execute play. Manning used to drive 2 or 3 hours to go to a field, and they would run those patterns over and over and over again. Okay, so we're gonna run our patterns, and we're gonna practice that, and then you're gonna go to a critique room with another manager, and you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna see something. You're gonna go right there, man. I should ask for the order right there, man. The guy laid down and rolled over, and I'm still selling my brains out. And you're going to see stuff. It's going to rock your world. You talk about being challenged with your inadequacy and driven to practice. The NFL says the eye in the sky doesn't lie. When you see yourself on film, it shows you some stuff. So I'm just priming you up, folks. I'm letting you know that part of the training is going to be awesome, and it's a golden opportunity. You know what? You play like you practice. And unfortunately, I don't think we practice enough in our profession. I mean, I was talking about, battle-ready soldiers, professional athletes, pit crews. What do? They practice. They go to training camp. So ongoing practice.